Hi everyone, how are you? It's Tuesday, which is good because I keep thinking it's like Wednesday or Thursday. Is anyone else having trouble trying to tell the day and the time? It's like the beginning of the week seems to go really slowly, and then the rest of the week kind of speeds up as you get closer towards the weekend. That's how it feels for me anyway. I don't know about you guys. Right, let's refresh this page so I can see you all. There we go. How is everyone? How are you? What have you been up to? Do comment, do say hello. It'd be really, really nice to chat to you. What have I been doing? Oh, I went to the studio this morning. I went to Arty Farty Retreat in Southburn. It was really lovely. I was working on a super secret present for Ed because it's his birthday on Thursday. So that was very exciting. But it was actually really nice to be out and somewhere different. It was really lovely. Hello Vicky, how are you? Nice to have you with us. Yeah, it was lovely actually, I have to say. What else do I have to tell you? Oh, we have, if anyone's free on Saturday evening, we've got a vision board workshop. So you don't necessarily have to want to plan out your goals for the rest of 2021. It could just be about having a bit of fun and being a bit creative. So we've got that workshop on Saturday. I think that's it. I think that's all I've got to tell you. What have you guys been up to? Do tell me, do comment, let me know what you've been doing over the last couple of days. Yesterday we drew a fantastic tree. I've got it somewhere, I've left it somewhere, there we go. Yesterday we drew this, we drew our bear tree, a wintry tree. And what I'm going to do is show you today just a couple of different shapes to use with a couple of different trees. Now I'm using a graphite pencil. It's totally and utterly pure graphite apparently, and it's a 2B, so it's slightly softer than the normal pencil that I would use. But if you've just got HB or any other normal pencil, just use that, that's fine. If you've got a slightly softer one, if you've got a choice, a slightly softer one would be great. So I'm going to show you a couple of different shapes for these. So the first thing I'm going to do is just divide my page into 4, so that we've got the 4 different sections to look at, 4 different types of trees. So that's the plan for today. So let's drop you guys down so you can see me. There we go. So I'm literally just going to fold this in half one way and open it up and in half the other way, just so that I've got 4 different boxes there. There we go, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm just going to show you 4 different trees, because when, let me lift you guys up again, I don't know about you guys, but when I'm doing particularly landscapes and trees and things, or even if I'm doing them out of my own kind of head or imagination, it's really hard to try and make them look different from one another. And not just draw the same shape tree, or the same colour actually as well. But obviously we're just using pencil for this one. No colour needed. Right, sorry, drop you down again. Let's go for it. So the first shape that we're going to do is this one up here. Is a kind of umbrella shape. So we have like a nice semicircle there, and it kind of comes up underneath. It's a bit of an odd shape really, that one. And we're going to do a few of those shapes kind of overlapping towards the top. So I'm going to do another one there, and pop another one there, and I'll pop one there as well, and then one for the top. Ooh, maybe make it come in a bit. There we go. And then this is just going to have 3 very distinct trunks coming down, like so. Okay, and I'm just going to draw a line over the bottom, just to show a bit of ground. Okay, so that's one tree shape. And then from that, we are then going to just round these off a little bit. So I'm going to kind of bring a few different shapes in here, and I'm I'm literally, I might bring this up a little bit into there. And I'm going to smudge these slightly, so I don't got too harsh a line there. And I am literally just using kind of almost semicircles whilst I'm drawing. So can you see from that how I've rounded it off? And then you're just literally going to do that and follow that for each one of these shapes that you've put in there. So we're going to do the same thing here. I'm going to try and work as quickly as I can because I know we've got another 2 to get through. And I might actually bring that down just a little bit further there. Bit of branch coming off there as well. And then the same for these. So you're literally following those shapes. So it's quite a nice shape to be able to do this one. Goodness knows what kind of, I can't identify trees when I'm looking at them. So who knows what kind of tree this is. Is this more like an oak tree shape? I've got one that we're going to do that's more like a willow. There we go. You can kind of round these off a little bit as well. Okay, so you get the point, And again, I'm just going to soften them up a little bit just with my finger to just bring those in. There we go. So one tree, or a type of tree, but with using those shapes. So the other shape that we're going to do, and this is more like the willow one, is you're going to do kind of oblong, but rounded oblong shape. And one on top of the other. So it kind of looks like the tiers of a cake, I guess, is how I imagine that. So if you plop one shape on top of the other there. Oh, hi mum, just seen your comment. One shape on top of the other there. And then what you're going to do with this is you're going to almost drag them down like a willow would. So you're going to kind of just shape it in. And you can adjust the bottom so that it's not as stark a line. There. And I'm just using downward lines to give the impression that there are branches coming off there. There's long sweeping branches. So this is going to be our kind of willow tree really. And then you're going to do exactly the same with the other 2 layers as well. And the really important thing to this, I think, is contrast as well. So make sure you get slightly darker bits than other bits. And then you're going to do the same for the top as well. There we go. And just infill. I hold that up so you can see what I'm doing. Just infilling bit by bit the kind of darker bits and lighter bits. How are you all getting on with this? Hopefully you're okay. And we're just going to do a last few just over the top there. Again, slightly lighter, slightly darker, but all downward lines for this one. There you go. Slightly different shape of tree. All right. So this one we're going to do is going to be shaped more like a rocket. So I'm going to go nice big rocket shape there. A little bit of a trunk coming down. Okay, like so. And then we are literally just going to, almost like we're roughing up the edges. So we're just going to kind of flick them out a bit and make it a little bit more scrappy. and a little bit more uneven. Come in slightly for a few of them. Make the top a little bit more rounded. And I'm just starting to bring a couple of sort of wobbly lines really, and a bit of shadow just in towards the middle. Not as much on the left, but maybe more on the right here. Just so that it's a little bit more uneven. We can see that there's a really nice shadow up here. Get a really nice uneven edge going. A couple of branches that you can see coming up there. Okay, and there we have what's more of a kind of conifer really going up there. As I say, I'm not great at identifying trees even when I see them in the park, so I'm not fantastic at that. But again, it's just a slightly different shaped tree that you can use. All right. And then, Vicky, I do work fast, I'm sorry. I'm working quickly so that I can show you all four within my 15 minutes. That's what I'm doing. So a lot of it, I mean, when you look really close up to my work, a lot of it is scribbles. So you can really get them in there. There we go. Actually, that's a really good way of describing that one, Mum. That is like a broccoli tree. It is like a broccoli tree. The cake one's actually really nice and easy to do. It's just trying to get the contrast in there more than anything. So you can really show that it's coming down and kind of sweeping down, as it were. And I've kind of done it quite round as well. It could come out at the edge a bit. Anyway, last shape. So we're going to do one nice big round shape here. Some of these trunks could be a bit bigger as well. I'm doing a bit none too generous with the trunks. There we go. So this one here is going to be more, I guess, a kind of traditional tree, if you like. So we're going to start by branching out a bit, and I'm literally just putting a few different spikes out there, like a little bit like we did with the bear tree yesterday. Thanks, Jen. They're fairly easy to do. Once you've got that initial shape, you can then really play around with it. So like this one, once you've got the kind of branch, you can then really play around with a little bit more like this one. So like the marks we did here, where they were kind of more rounded and they're just lots of semicircles really. That's what we're going to use for this one. But a little bit more following the shape of not only the nice big round shape that we've got, but also the branches. So a little bit more. So I tend to try and do the outline first, then you can see if you're happy with the overall shape with the tree, and then I tend to go for it with the middle. There we go. So this one's a little bit more jaggedy. So what I'm going to do is just use the rubber to just rub out the gaps in between my leaves where I drew that initial nice big shape. There you go. So you can see how I've used both the branches, so I'm kind of going around them, as well as the nice big round shape that we had on top. It looks a bit like an acorn really. So I'm then going to just fill in, again, a little bit like with this one, just a few kind of scribbles, getting some shade in there. And again, please don't feel like you have to work that quickly. You can always re-watch these videos. You can always have a look at them later. and work on it in your own time. Obviously, I'm sure you don't want to be hearing my voice for the rest of today. So I'm going to do it as quick as I can. But if you're having a go at this, do take a photograph once you've finished. Do pop it in the comments. I'd love to see them. Be really nice to see somebody else's version as well, because that's the other thing. These are just basic outlines. These are examples, and you can have your own take on this as well. So look, I'm gonna darken some of these branches that are coming out. You might want to put less branches in, more branches in. I'm probably going to put a bit more shade on this side, because I think there's probably, I'm going to have the light coming from that side of my tree. I'm literally scribbling to get that texture. If I hold that up close, you can see the scribbles. Oh, Jen, no worries, no worries. Hopefully you'll have a go. So there you go. So 4 different shapes to create 4 completely different trees. So if you're putting them all next to each other, they don't all look the same. And obviously you can use lots of different colours within that as well. So do take a photograph of yours. Jen, I know you had to go, but if you managed to do them, even with the lease, do take a photo and pop them in the comments. It'd be really lovely to see. I will also pop in the comments the link for donating to Arty Farty Retreat. The studio costs about £1,000 every month to rent, so I'm hoping that some of you will be lovely enough to leave us a quick donation, which will just keep it going and keep it alive for as long as we're locked down. I understand we might actually be locked down until March now. Who knows? We'll wait and see. But yeah, it would be amazing for you to help me keep it going so that when we can meet up and we can all see each other, it will be there. We'll actually be able to be creative in a room together, which would be really nice. So there you have it, 4 different trees. And tomorrow you will need either charcoal or a really soft pencil. So like a 4B, a 6B, or even an 8B pencil, and charcoal if you've got it. I'm going to work with charcoal tomorrow. And we're going to do, I think we're going to do a bird tomorrow. I'm going with the nature theme in our drawing this week. Thank you so much for joining me. As I say, don't forget to take photos and pop them in the comments. It'd be really lovely to see. And see you tomorrow at 1 PM. Have fun. Bye.